What's up, Angel City? It's been a minute, but your girls are back. I am your girl Panda, and I've got my favorite co-host when it comes to pretty much everything. Um,
Hey.
I got Nina, not in the house, but on the computer for all of your viewing pleasure. Nina, what is going on? Where are you at? What's happening?
Oh my goodness. It's been a minute, but there are things happening and we don't stop. The world doesn't stop. And of course, soccer doesn't stop and Angel City doesn't stop. So we are here. We are back. Your Angel City chicks coming to you in the off season now, at least for Angel City, to give you some news and highlights, some U.S. women's national team updates, some NWSL updates, little Angel City news. And we're going to just have some fun today.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. We're going to keep these going, obviously, even though the official season is over, our first inaugural season for ACFC. And we're going to talk about our thoughts on that a little bit. And don't worry, we're going to keep you guys entertained, keep you in the spirit. And before you know it, we're going to be tailgating again for our second season. It's gonna come up
Yeah.
real fast because you know how the years like to go. As far as when the holidays hit, it just keeps on rolling. All of a sudden, it's like, whoa, we're here again. And those
Yup.
first 2 years, waiting for this moment, just they went by so fast. So I can imagine these next short few months are gonna be a lot of information. I'm sure we're gonna find out what's going on, and yeah, let's just we'll dive right into it. What do you want to start with tonight? What should we?
Let's start with some fun. Let's look back on this first season. Let's do a little postseason. Here we are.
Yes.
What was, Amanda, your favorite moment of season one?
So I guess my favorite moment of the season is maybe not a real specific pinpoint moment like this happened, this was awesome, but just that being at that first game, being in that atmosphere, knowing everything that we had worked for the last year and a half leading up to
Mhm.
that, talking about it, so much of it being on Zoom and just really finally getting to meet a lot of the people that we really didn't have a chance to do that with. And I think just being in that first game atmosphere, which was incredible. I don't know. I don't think if you could have wrote the script any better yourself, if you could have, but it was such an amazing, amazing time being there for that first game. So I think my favorite moment of the season was just, being in the stadium and just seeing all that hard work that had been put into the season come together. And we finally were able to just kind of like breathe a collective sigh of relief as we saw, what the supporters had been doing and what the players had been doing and the coaches and the front office and
Mhm.
everybody and just, the fans in general. And, we just got to see it all in action.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh my gosh, that was definitely fun. And I totally agree with you. I think in terms of podcasting, my favorite moment of the season is when we went up to Seattle and we actually got
ooh,
to like walk around that stadium and be in like a huge press box. And, it was just such an incredible opportunity. So I think that was my podcast highlight. But
okay.
as far as the team goes, I'm going to take a little weird turn. And I think my favorite or my most memorable moment from season one is going to be that first red card that Savannah McCaskill got. And I'll tell you why. It was the first moment that we all together were like, ah,
Like, we're not playing, man. We're here. We're ready to fight. And I
right?
like
It was
that.
like,
Yes.
there's all the celebrations and the joy that come with it. But when we hit that first, like, oh, you're not going to mess with us moment, I think that was a big highlight for me.
Like, you're not gonna come in here and walk over the new kids. We're gonna fight for ourselves.
Yeah.
So no, that was fun. I mean, yeah, there's so many moments. I mean, obviously, Vanessa Gilles' first goal for ACFC in that first game. That I mean,
Mhm.
that's always gonna be on the list of favorite moments for a lot of people because I mean it's so memorable and it just really kind of like put the stamp on the season. And yeah, that was pretty amazing. I mean, again, I would love to hear everybody's favorite moments of the season as well. If you have any, respond to our story or DM us, and we'd love to share those with everybody because, the season, like, kind of you look back and it went by so fast, and it's nice to relive some of these moments, like, in things that maybe we forgot about that happened. Because yeah, I mean, we just game's done, on to the next, on to the next.
Yeah.
So it's hard to sit there and kind of like soak in and relish those really fun moments. So
Yeah,
yes, lots of
definitely.
them.
Put it in the comments for this episode. Let us know, what was your highlight? What is your most memorable moment from season 1. I'll tell you though, some people probably have a great memorable moment from the off season because those pink shorts dropped. The shorts that
Yeah.
everybody wanted are here.
They are. Yes, I saw that. I was like, "Oh, those are cute. I would wear those totally." I think they're $50 online. I'm sure you can use the Klarna app to pay for them
There you
if you don't feel
go.
like shelling all that money out for that. But yeah, they're super cute. I know that the girls always looked amazing in them. So yeah, I would love to. I don't know. Did you buy any?
I had actually just pulled the trigger like the day before on a bunch of clothes in my other cart. And I spent a pretty penny on that. So I was like, I needed some good off-season clothes. Like I realized that 90% of my wardrobe is sports related. So I needed to
Right.
purchase some things that I can actually wear like to the office and things like that. So
Well, the interesting
unfortunately,
thing is we're gonna I mean, I think next season we'll change the daylight jersey. So I'll be
mhm,
curious to see if the shorts change as well. So
yeah,
I don't know.
it'll
We'll
be
see. But
interesting.
yeah, but if you were eyeballing those during the season and thought, oh my gosh, those are amazing, then you too can cop them as well at the merch store, ACFC, online. Like I said, pay in 4 monthly installments if you would like with Klarna. I have way too many things out there that are pending to like payment wise. So
Eh,
I
big
might need to
deal.
step back from this one, but that's okay.
And just because the season is over doesn't mean that Angel City has stopped doing things. Just this week, they've got so many events coming out. And if you're not following them on Instagram, I don't know how you found us, but just to
Right.
highlight a few, they've got some fun like Halloween and Harvest Festival things going on, including on Halloween itself, a trunk or treat event at Lab 5. That's the newest one out in Gardena. That's a brand new facility there. So super exciting for them. I'm I mean, if I had kids, I'd be going there.
Right, exactly. So Friday, it looks like down at Dignity Health Sports Park, they're going to have a treat and sweets Halloween bash. That's interesting. I'm wondering, the sweets is spelled like sweets you stay in. So maybe it's up.
Mm,
Maybe they're doing something fun, like in those little rooms or whatever.
that'd
But
be cool.
that would be fun. That's 4 to 7 p.m. on Friday. Saturday, Yosemite Rec Center is having a harvest festival from 9:30 to 12:30. So kind of more of a morning thing if you like to get up early and don't want to be out late. And then, like you said, of course, Monday on Halloween, trunk or treat from 5 to 8. So
So much
somebody,
fun. I
yeah,
love that our team stays connected to the community like this because this is not the first set of activities that they've had going on. Like, if you just keep an eye on that Instagram, you're going to find ways to connect with Angel City. Super exciting. I love our team.
yeah, no, they're going to keep you engaged. You're not going to be bored in the off season. Like I said, the new season will be here before you know it. So those are some fun things going on. Fun way to kick it off. We're going to spend a very, very, very small amount of time just bringing to light and giving some attention real quick just to something that is not so, I guess, lighthearted. Nope. You want to go there?
I want to go there.
Oh my
I'm not
gosh.
ready.
Well, my notes were moving on. So, all right, fine.
Let's
Fine,
talk
fine.
first, though, about the team awards.
All right. So I guess we're going to stay lighthearted and we're going to talk about the team awards real quick. So ACFC held a nice little kind of intimate event where they were able to highlight the ACFC players that they wanted to highlight and give awards to. So, and I thought that was really cool that they do that. I think that's what all of them very well need is to be recognized because I'm sure some of them weren't feeling, I mean, we missed the playoffs. So I'm sure a lot of them were pretty bummed and felt like, they deserved it. So this was like a fun way to recognize them. So let's go over where do you want to start?
Let's start with Savannah McCaskill. Golden boot for Angel City. Very exciting. We know she was our leading goal scorer. And, you got to give it up for her because as all of our forwards got injured and then their other forwards got injured and then forwards played defense, we did look to the midfield to hold it down. And Savannah McCaskill took that leadership role on and she scored for us. And, I just give it up to her. So congratulations, Savannah McCaskill, the Angel City inaugural Golden Boot winner. After that, Megan Reed. Oh, there's the applause.
I know, I had to reach back and I was like, I was going to applause. I'm like, wait, I have a button for that. Moving
Megan
on.
Reed took home Rookie of the Year, which I think is very appropriate. You know, she was a firefighter and then came into the league. No, that's still Paige Nielsen. I do this
What?
every time, don't I?
I don't know. Do you? I'm the one who does Reed and Riley. I get them all mixed up. So, like the
Now you
R's
got
throw
me
me
doubting
off. But
myself.
oh my gosh, Nina,
See what you've done.
don't doubt yourself ever.
Oh, whatever.
Anyways, so Megan Reed's the Rookie of the Year. Is this her? I mean, this is her first season in the NWSL.
Yes.
Where did she come from?
See, you have me. I thought she was. You're confusing me
What are you talking about? Why are you so confused?
because I thought I knew and now I don't.
Oh my goodness. Anyways,
All
well,
right.
moving on. If you're a fan of ACFC, you know all these backgrounds, and I just came from Orange Theory. My brain is fried and it's Hell Week and I cannot think. So we're just gonna keep moving on. We'll save Dee Dee for last because she got 2 awards actually.
Ah.
Allie Riley, she got the Players Player of the Year. And I don't think that's any surprise, of course, because
Mm-mm.
I think everyone loved her leadership on the field. She was always the team captain, her upbeat attitude, and, her willingness to go out there and, kind of put the team on the right foot from the beginning and, in moments when we needed her the most. I think she was definitely key in that. So congratulations to Allie Riley, your ACFC Players Player of the Year.
Woo! And then, as you mentioned, Dee Dee with 2 different awards. First of all, the Supporters Player of the Year. And, we know that Dee Dee is the closest to that supporter section for 45 minutes, half a match every game. But Dee Dee also holds it down for us. I think without Dee Dee, we would not have had the season we did. So Dee Dee also earned MVP.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, she always kept us towards the top of the table when it came to goals allowed. Again, our weak foot always came with what we were actually able to score ourselves. I think if we could have scored more, we would have been good because most of our games were so close, maybe just 1 goal, but it could have been far, far worse if we did not have the only Dee Dee Heritage in goal, holding it down and building a wall in front of that goal. And boy, did she. I mean, she was amazing. I mean,
I love
again,
our
I
team.
totally get it. I get why she got the awards that she did. They were totally well deserved. And yeah, congratulations to her.
Woo! Congratulations to all the girls on the team and all the coaching staff and front office, everybody there, because we know that this season was difficult, but we are already setting our sights on next season. We're getting excited. We're getting worked up. And I'm just happy to be a part of this team in general. The things they do on and off the pitch, it all makes such a big difference. So we'll just keep giving it up and cheering it up for them. And,
So
with that,
I want to highlight Megan Reed because I think she deserves to have her accolades put out there as Rookie of the Year, and I didn't want to pass over that. But she was actually, it's interesting enough, she was signed after a trial as a non-roster invitee during the 2022 preseason training. And before that, she was in the WPSL. So as far as Rookie of the Year goes, this was her first season in the NWSL. And she showed up and she clearly made an impact on them. And she did some things that clearly caught their eye, and I think that they are definitely not regretting that decision. So congratulations to Megan Reed for being Rookie of the Year and really leaving it all out on the pitch for ACFC.
whoop, whoop. Amazing team. All right. The next thing on the list is something that's not so happy. And, Amanda and I talked a lot about whether or not we wanted to cover this topic. So we did come to the decision that it needs to at least be said. We're not going to dig too far into it, but the Yates report is out. We know that hit shortly after our season ended. And just in general, we're just glad the issues are being addressed. But we also know that the things mentioned in this Yates report are incredibly serious and they can be very triggering and hurtful. And it's not an easy subject to broach. And so our hearts and our thoughts and our prayers go out to the players who were hurt as a result of everything that has happened in the league. But we're going to kind of leave it there. This is a very serious matter. And as much as we want to give it the time and space it deserves here, I don't think we can do that justice in a way that is
No, no, definitely not. And I
hurtful.
think if you want to know anything about it, I think it's easy to find and to go out there and read. There's a lot there.
Mhm.
And yes, a lot of it should definitely come with trigger warnings for abuse and assault and
Yeah.
mistreatment and all kinds of things that just should not exist
Mhm.
anywhere in any environment, period.
Yeah.
And these I'm like you said, I'm glad that they're bringing it up and they're talking about it and they've gotten this far, but I think it's what happens from here is what's going to be the most important steps going forward. Like, okay, well, we know what happened. How do we prevent it from happening in the future? And what do we
Mhm.
do about it now that we found out that it has happened? So, I
Yeah.
again encourage you to maybe familiarize yourself with that if you are interested in doing so. If you don't need to know, then you don't have to know, and we're
And we
not
also
going to tell you.
Yeah, we also understand that we have some younger listeners here,
Mhm.
and we want to just respect that space as well. So we're going to leave it at that. If this is a topic that is age appropriate for you, feel free to dive into it. And parents, I just encourage you to talk to your young athletes and to make sure you have a healthy relationship with them, because what we don't want to see is anything like this ever happening again. It's unacceptable, inexcusable. And, we're just glad things are being addressed.
Yeah, I think this is a great time for people to have that conversation, like you said, with their children about what is appropriate, what's not. If
Mhm.
you find yourself in any situation that you feel, that it is not, then what do you do? Like open that dialogue, use that as a platform to discuss this because you know i'm sure um I'm sure if those conversations may have been happening early on, maybe someone would have felt a little more comfortable standing up and saying something. So hey, that's why these reports come out to make these situations aware to all of us, so we know what's happening. This is something that shouldn't be swept under a rug ever, and I'm glad that it's not.
Yeah. With that, let's move to some happy news. Just pivoting the tables once again. Exciting news coming from the post office.
Do people still use stamps?
Yes, we use stamps.
For what?
Mail.
What mail?
People mail letters all the time.
Where do you mail letters?
Everywhere I can.
Like, what's the last letter you mailed, Nina?
I actually had to mail something today. So there. I had to
What was
mail a
it?
letter to one of our for work.
For work. Okay. I
But I
suppose. I
also
mean,
there's a birth announcement somewhere here on my desk for little baby Atticus.
I suppose like lots of invitations still get mailed, but
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
I've also got a bunch of bills here that come in the mail.
I love
Yeah.
bills. It's
Oh,
amazing.
mail from my brother.
All right. Well, I guess if you are one of those that is like Nina, who enjoys sending and receiving mail, snail mail, you have a new option when it comes to postage stamps. Woo! That's exciting. What did they say about it? I mean,
So what they're doing is they are honoring US women's national team as they make their World Cup run, and they're doing that in the form of a stamp. If you're following us on YouTube, you'll see right now that amazing stamp that they came out with. I really like this. I think it's very cool. Also, a Ruth Bader Ginsburg stamp. I'm just saying, stamps are winning for 2023.
stamps. It's so fun. I don't know the last time I bought a stamp or used a stamp, but hey, again, I guess if I need a stamp, I have a go-to right now that I will definitely purchase.
Yes, now you have a reason to buy stamps. Support US women's national team.
If
But
you were
that's a
on the
fun
fence,
transition for us, I think, as the US women's national team gear up to try for our third consecutive World Cup title.
all right, all right, woohoo! Yeah, definitely gearing up for that. I mean, it's exciting time of year. I mean, obviously, we're gearing up for the Men's World Cup. It's going to be happening very, very soon. I mean, less than a month away. So that's exciting. So yeah, the U.S. Women's National Team. Hey, we've got a 21-3 record in group play. So that bodes well for us, I think. And we are also the top
Absolutely.
seed in Group E. The United States, they're going to play all of their first round matches in New Zealand and potentially all but one in that country before the August 20th final in Sydney. So I wonder what time is going to be like for those games.
Oh my goodness. It's definitely going to be a fun time of morning for us, I'm sure. But our opener is actually scheduled for July 22nd in Auckland. And it's against a first time participant, Vietnam, fielding a team this year. And then 5 days later, we're going to be playing in Wellington against the Netherlands, who actually lost to us in the 2019 final in France. Netherlands are currently ranked eighth. U.S. women's national team, number one.
Yes, we
Sorry, I
are.
had to.
All right, so our group play, it's going to conclude on August 1st in Auckland against the winner of a February playoff between number 23 Portugal, number 41 Thailand, and number 58 Cameroon. So that'll be exciting.
Super exciting. And as much you've been to Australia and I've been to Australia, but have you ever been to New Zealand?
No, I'm not. I want to go to New Zealand. I mean,
I
that
do
definitely.
too.
Absolutely. If I'm going to fly that far next time to Australia, I'm just going to like put it all together and make sure that I just go and see that. But yes, I would love to go there. But luckily, our women's national team is going to get to see a lot of it.
Yeah, 6 stadiums in Australia and 4 stadiums in New Zealand are going to host all 64 matches. All but 3 participants are already locked in. And then the playoffs are going to be February 18th through 23rd. And they're going to be 32 teams. This is the largest field since they launched a championship in 1991. Very exciting.
Fantastic. All right, let's talk about real quick the U.S. women's national team friendlies that are scheduled. It looks like Germany is going to be playing them November 10th in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and November 13th up in Harrison, New Jersey. I assume that's going to be where the Red Bulls play because that is Harrison. So just so you know.
Very
And then
likely.
and then
too cold too, right? Oh my god.
Yeah, it could be. It could be very chilly up in New Jersey in November. I've run marathons in New York during that time, and when I woke up, it was like 45 degrees. So, yeah,
No, thank you.
no thanks. And then 2 friendlies in February and 2 in April. The opponents and venues have yet to be finalized, so stay tuned. We will definitely bring you that information once we have all of it in our fingertips. All right,
It's all happening.
All right, so let's move on to if you're an LA homer, if you're someone who's like big on LA teams, big on all things, then you're probably not a big fan sometimes of San Diego. No, we might like this next little segment. We're just going to highlight. Nina, would you like to do the honors?
I mean,
You're
I
an
feel
LA
like
girl.
you really want to say this one. I feel like this was one that like just kind of warmed your soul a little.
Well, and I'm not, but see, I'm not an LA girl essentially. I mean, I came from the Midwest, and I've kind of, tied myself to LA teams, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm happy about this or I kind of feel bad for San Diego in the sense that, man, they got like the triple crown of losses this weekend. I mean, their NWSL team, obviously the Wave lost to the Thorns. Off an amazing goal from Crystal Dunn. Let's we'll talk about that in a minute. The Padres, they got beat by, I think it was it the Phillies?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Phillies. I don't know. I've stopped caring about the World Series now because I hope all the teams lose for some reason. But either way, the Padres lost, and then the USL team, the San Diego Loyal, also lost. So San Diego, thank God they have weather to keep them, happy because Lord knows their sports teams were not doing that for them this weekend. So either way, our condolences to San Diego. I mean, we were kind of, even though we were rivals when it came to our team with the Wave, and I think we both shared a little bit of that, new kids on the block kind of feeling when it came to this. And I think it really put a spotlight on a lot of things, a good new rivalry and, the attendance record that was set. So, as much as, we may not like each other when it comes to teams, I think, we have a little bit of respect for them as, they did the same thing that we did albeit a different way completely. But hey, as the new kids on the block, you kind of want to see franchises like new ones do well. I think that's great for the sport. Well, I think it
I mean, I want
encourages.
them to do well, but also I didn't want them to win my inaugural season. This is my season.
No, and they didn't. So it's like, okay, you
Right?
did just enough to say, we're here, we're competitive. This was not a waste of anyone's time to put into this franchise. So either way,
Mhm.
sorry, San Diego, you did not have a good week.
Yeah. I mean, I will say they did get some sort of a consolation prize, if you will, because the NWSL honors came out, just a few of them. And Kaylin Sheridan from the San Diego Wave is taking home goalkeeper of the year for the NWSL. And Casey Stoney, the Wave coach, is taking home the NWSL 2022 Coach of the Year award. Very exciting for both of them. And quite honestly, very well earned.
Well, and then, the Golden Boot. Who got that?
I don't think it's official yet, but it's going to be Alex Morgan.
It's regular season, right?
Yeah.
So, did anybody, no one beat her?
No.
So it's going to be her too. So again,
Yeah.
Wave, you guys did fine.
You're fine.
You're fine.
Get over it.
I'm actually, never mind. I take back what I said. I don't feel bad for you at all. All right. Let's see. We had a lot of really cool playoff attendance records that were set also.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
It's like everybody showed up and showed out to these games, and it's like, okay.
Yeah, absolutely. The number 4 largest playoff crowd in league history, going to the Houston versus KC quarterfinal with 21,284. Number 3 being Reign versus Kansas City, and that's 21,491. And then the number 2 largest crowd, Portland versus San Diego, 22,035 people. And then this one, the number 1 largest playoff crowd in league history, going to San Diego versus Chicago quarterfinal at Snapdragon, 26,215 people. Wow.
And that's huge, because if you know anything about sports, you know that attendance is a metric that's going to drive success in this league. I think there was an article that came out recently on ESPN, actually, that covered it. And they spoke with Jessica Berman, the commissioner of the NWSL. And she said, I think we know, all of us who have worked in the sports industry for decades, the rocket fuel behind the growth of any sports league is attendance. And the article kind of focused mainly on the fact that there's kind of a huge disparity in attendance across the league, meaning you've got San Diego Wave, you've got Angel City, you've got Portland, that are putting out huge numbers, which is great. But then you've also got other teams that, still haven't quite gotten, haven't gotten in the driver's seat for that. The cool thing is they highlighted Angel City, of course. And yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. It
Winners.
says, yeah. So like I had said about San Diego and Angel City, the expansion teams this year, they really changed the game in a lot of ways. And attendance was one of those that they highlighted. ACFC led the league in attendance in its first year in the league. They drew per game an average of 19,105 fans over the 11 regular season games at Banc of California Stadium.
I love it.
Is insane, because that's outsell. That's more than the men's league for a lot of
and of that 16,000 season ticket holders by the time the season ends. This actually marks a great thing for the NWSL, because as a league, they've now surpassed 1 million fans in a season, which is an over 70% growth from last year to this year. I don't want to take all the credit, but I'm taking a good chunk of that.
What's really interesting in this article is they were talking about Kansas City. So they had the worst stadium situation as of 2021. They took a baseball field that they did no one liked it. Away players hated playing there, and that's why they decided to build that privately funded stadium of their own, the very first in NWSL history, which is going to open in 2024. So they moved to Children's Mercy Park, which is where the Sporting Kansas City is, and they averaged over 7,600 fans. That was actually a 63% increase from 2021. So simply moving it from the crappy rundown stadium that they had to that drew people in. So you can only imagine what having a brand new stadium is going to. People love shiny new things. And I think we're going to see those numbers only get even better. So that's pretty exciting. I mean, we have a lot of exciting things that are happening. But again, there are definitely some teams out there that they need to step it up. I mean, I guess on the low end of the list, the Chicago Red Stars 2022 season at the gate there were a couple of Wednesday night games, which obviously kind of, aren't the greatest, but they barely cleared 2,000 when it comes to attendance, which is, not a great number, especially if you're, depending on revenue and everything. So, again, there's some things that are, are definitely the tides are churning in a lot of ways for teams. And maybe they will take note from what we're doing, what the Wave's doing, what Kansas City is doing to try to change, the, landscape of what they're doing. But, hey, people showing up is the key to keeping this league alive. I think that's what the article kind of is putting in a little bit of a nutshell at the end of the day. So thank you to all of our fans for showing up, because you guys, I mean, are just amazing. I mean, we crushed it in our first season, and it was, win, lose, or draw. We were going to show up. We're going to show up for our team. We're going to show up for the culture. We're going to show up for the environment. And yeah, I'm so happy that we got to be at least the leader in that category.
Absolutely. I love this. And it just shows more the growth for the NWSL. And, as we talk about the growth, we are gearing up for this NWSL 2022 championship final, which is going to be played this Saturday, October 29th at 8 p.m. Eastern time. That means for all of us here, 5 p.m. Pacific. And this is being played at Audi Field.
What a long cry from that 8 a.m. turf game that
oh my God, right?
Remember getting breakfast at High Tops to go watch an NWSL. I mean, we had fun. I mean, I love a good reason to wake up and have brunch. Don't get me wrong. But it's, yeah, I mean, that's huge. I'm so happy that, they finally decided that this deserves a little bit more of an audience. So I'm excited. Let's see. So like you said, Saturday at 5, what are we going to do? Because we're going to be coming off the heels of a fun little birthday boozy brunch.
We're going to just stay boozed up and watch this game. KC Current versus Portland Thorns. I'm going to just throw it out there. Let's go Current.
Current. Okay.
I'm going Current.
I'm a fan. I would like to see Current. I love their colors. There's something about the red and teal that you just don't see very often, that just when I see it on the pitch, I don't know, it just looks cool. And, Portland, we've seen you here before.
I think that's kind of why I'm just like, I think Portland is probably more likely to win, at least in my opinion. But
Possibly.
I would like to see KC Current do it. I'd like to see them take it.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And I think that's only going to help, them on their charge to build this new stadium. And I think that's going to ensure people showing up and filling that. And again, I mean, that's good for everybody across the league when that's kind of stuff happens. So yeah, I mean, maybe there'll be some fun watch parties posted for the final. Again, I think it's always exciting to support women, and no matter what, even though our team's not in it, I think watching it and supporting it is crucial. We need every little bit that we can that helps put this in a positive light. So we'll post where we're going to be. We'll be somewhere.
Yep. And, as you're watching that game, definitely keeping our eyes on Sophia Smith, Crystal Dunn, and Sam Coffey from Portland. And then from KC Current, you're going to watch out for Adriana Franch in goal and Hallie Mason defense. It's going to be an exciting game. It's very interesting. Also, can't forget, Becky Sauerbrunn with Thorns. Those are all players that have made the NWSL best 11 for 2022. And that's what I'm saying. Like, Thorns have players in every position, and KC Current are good. But it's a little more of a team effort there. So I'll be excited to see how this plays out. Either way, I know you're going to get a good game.
Yeah,
No.
it's going to be a great time. You know what's hold on just a second. I'm looking. So
Uh-oh.
no, I was just making sure. I didn't want to say it wrong, but they're playing at Audi Field.
Yes.
So question to you, Nina.
Answer for you. Panda.
Answer me this.
Riddle me
So
that.
they determine, much like in NFL, they determine where they're going to play the final, irregardless of the teams that are in it.
Yes.
Do you know why they do that?
I think it's a timing issue and securing a stadium. I don't think that the NWSL currently has the funds for home teams to be able to reserve space for a game that might not happen. Because let's remember, if you're booking out a stadium, you're going to be kind of on the hook for those funds if it's not able to get rebooked. At least that's the way I'm going to assume that this works. So
Makes
I think it's a timing issue, and it's the fact that they can't force all of these teams to try to have a space available. And not only that, like, you want to have a stadium that is as good as possible for these games. So they actually just open it up and allow cities to make a bid for having that game hosted at their stadium instead
it makes sense
of
because it is a lock at the end. Like you said, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. It will be played here. We lock it in. We're done. I mean, I was just curious on that, and if anybody else was kind of wondering that, why that was the case.
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of logistics that go into these stadium operations, and there's a lot of other events that take place there. And we have to remember that it's not necessarily an easy transition from a concert to a soccer game to a football game. Those are all very laborious tasks that require lots of man hours and lots of personnel and care of the grass and things like that. So just making sure that they have everything in order logistically, it's easiest to just say, this is going to be our field.
Right. It's funny because, like I said, the NFL does the same thing, but it's for a far different reason, I'm sure, because they have all the money in the world. So they could secure all the stadiums if they wanted, but I'm sure it's all about just preparation and being able to put on like the biggest party they can and knowing what they have to work with.
Yeah,
100%.
100%.
Okay. Well, cool. So 5:00 our time. We'll be watching it. It's going to
Yeah.
be exciting. Is there anything else that you would like to cover before we tell everybody, see you later?
I mean, I'm just excited for some fluff.
You're excited? Okay. We'll get to some fluff but we will wrap up the meat and potatoes of this and leave the fluff for the end. So you know how we like to sign off. Did you have a quote for tonight?
I actually don't have a quote. We don't have press conferences. Go team.
True. I have a quote from Nina. Go team. It was just you just now. All right. Well, we'll just leave it at that. You guys know how we like to sign off all of our podcasts.
Bye. And here's our fluff. Okay.
Okay. So you want to get into fluff. Why do you want to get into fluff?
Because I told you I have a surprise for you. And I told you it would be in your realm. And I think you're going to be really, really proud of me.
Oh boy.
Have I told you what I'm doing tomorrow?
No, not at all.
Well, tomorrow at 2:40 p.m., if you get a call from me, you have to answer because I might be bawling my eyes out as I go get my 4th COVID shot and my flu shot.
What? You're getting
I'm
them all
doing 'em
together?
both.
Oh my God. Look at you. I haven't even gotten my 4th COVID shot. Like,
I know. I thought you would be proud of me, though.
Oh my God. Hold on. I have applause for you. I'm so happy. Christian needs to get his flu shot too. So I've had my flu shot. I got it several weeks ago. So
I know.
I'm so proud of you. Thank you for protecting yourself. That makes me feel happy.
Yeah, and
so
just as
good.
some background for those of you who haven't been with us forever, I have a horrible fear of needles. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I got my first flu shot ever with Panda a few years ago, like right when COVID was, or right before COVID, the first year of COVID, something like that. You held my hand. I think this is only my 2nd year getting my flu shot, so it was last year.
Thank
But you
God.
held my hand through it. You took me in. I was drinking heavily.
You were
but we
drunk
got it
and
done,
gone.
and, I was one of the people that was very nervous about getting a COVID shot at first, and I've given a lot of thought to this. And, my best friend, my podcast co-host Panda, is obviously in the medical profession. My cousin, who's also one of my best friends, is also a nurse. And then my brother and his now wife are both doctors. And having this many people in the medical field and hearing Panda tell me all these things about like taking care of myself, and it's like a seatbelt, it's protecting you in case you get into an accident. You still wear your seatbelt when you get in the car.
Right?
All these different things. And just out of respect for all the medical professionals in my life, it's really important to me to put that fear aside, bawl my eyes out if I have to, but go in there and get it done. So I made my appointment and I'm doing it.
Yay, I'm so happy for you. Thank you for doing your part to protect yourself and others. I think it's super important. I, on the other hand, am embodying what my shirt says.
Unwell.
It says unwell. This is Hell Week at Orange Theory. So from the 24th through the 31st, it's 8 of their hardest workouts that they could put together. And if you complete 4 of them, you get a t-shirt. Yay. Tomorrow will be my
Winner.
4th class. I've done 3 already this week, and I'm exhausted. I'm tired. My legs hurt. They don't work. We played kickball on Sunday in a little tournament, and that just set the week off. Let me tell you. Like, I was sore in
Perfect.
places after kickball that I didn't know existed, which is super weird because I'm like, I'm in shape. Why am I sore? But you clearly use different muscles whenever you are running like a crazy person. And I mean, it was kind of tackle football at one point for me.
It was
It
indeed.
was. Yes. So this week is very interesting. Tomorrow will be my 4th workout. So
Let's
and
do
then
it.
Saturday, I'm just preparing for Saturday. We're taking my great friend Cassandra out for her
Yay!
birthday. Yes, her 30th birthday. We're gonna go have some brunch. And then, like I said, we're just gonna slink our way somewhere to watch the final. That'll be fun. Hopefully you guys can all join us. But other than that, I don't know. This
That's
one
it.
was such an uneventful podcast because I locked the kittens out.
Aw.
Oh, you should hear
Rude.
you should hear them. They are
Rude.
not they are not happy right now. They are trying to burrow their way into this room.
All right. Well, we better
So
end it so that you can go let them in.
I am. I'm gonna go let them in, and then we'll probably
Catch you
have some
next
more news.
time.
Yeah, hopefully sooner rather than later. Yeah, that's all I got
100%.
for Halloween.